I'm going to show you how to make a delicious quiche. So in front of me I have everything that we need. We need 200 grams of ham cubes. We need grated cheese. We need leek, 4 eggs, 250 milliliters of creme fraiche, and pre-made dough sheets. And then we also need a mixing bowl, and we have a quiche tin from 28 centimeters, and the bottom is removable, and that is very handy. Alright, the first things that I do is opening up the pre-made dough sheets. They look like this, and that's because they just came out of the freezer, so they have to defrost. So it has 10 sheets of dough, and I always use 5. And then I put them on the plate so they can defrost. The rest of the sheets I will put back in the freezer for the next time. The next step that I use is to have some liquid butter, and you have to put it on the tray. And then we're going to grease the whole tin. Alright, so now the tin is all greased, and I just used a little paper towel to do this. So now we're going to use the ham cubes, and we need 200 grams of ham cubes, and they are pretty big. So I usually just cut them in half or a little bit smaller, and we don't have to use both of these packs, so we're going to use a little bit less. So let's cut them. Okay, so I've cut the 200 grams of ham cubes, and in the meantime our dough has been defrosted, so let's put our tin in front of us, and then we can put them inside. So sometimes I try to stretch a little bit of these dough sheets, but don't stretch them too far because they will break. So the first one will go into the middle, and the rest will go around it, but first I always cut a little bit from the top up. And that's because they are a little bit too big, but that's alright. So we put them together and do the same with the rest. Alright, so now I have like a little cross, and that's why I've cut the ends of the dough, because we have to fill in the spots. So let's do this. Alright, so I've filled in all of the spots, but it still looks messy and a lot of lines. So now, with the heat of your finger, you're just going to glue the lines all shut. so now the dough is close together, so we will set that aside for now with the ham cubes. Alright, the next step is a bowl, and you will put your creme fraiche inside of the bowl. So it looks like this. Okay, this one is empty. Next, we have to put all 4 of the eggs inside. Okay, so all the eggs are inside, so now we have to mix this. Alright, so I have mixed it until it is all smooth. So now we grab some grated cheese. And I only use 2 or 3 hands of cheese. So like this much. And another one. And a tiny bit. And then I will mix it again. So now we can set this aside. And now we need to cook our leek. Okay, so I have my leek over here. I usually do half of the bag. So something like this. I always cut them a little bit smaller. Like this. Okay, so here I have the leek. Let's put it inside of the pan. Okay, so I have to put a little bit of water inside. Okay, so the pan is filled with water. So now we have to let it boil, and when it boils, we have to keep it for 15 minutes on low heat. Alright, so now that it's boiling, we will turn the heat down to low. And now we have to wait like 12 to 15 minutes until it's done. So I will put my top on and we will keep checking. Alright, so it has been 12 minutes, so now I will grab my ham cubes that we've cut before and I'm going to put them inside together. It smells amazing. So now I will put off the heat and I will stir them together just to get a little bit of flavor from each other. So now I will put the lid back on for like 1 or 2 minutes. Alright, so the leek and the ham is done. And I'm going to drain it. To drain the water because there's a lot of water now. Okay, so I have drained all the water and now remember our mixture from eggs, creme fraiche and a little bit of cheese. So now we will pour this in and we will stir it. So just a little scoop at a time and we will stir it together. It's also still a little bit hot, so keep in mind and be careful. Alright, so now that we have our filling made, we are going to preheat our oven on 200 degrees. Alright, so let's put confection. Let's put it on 200 and let's heat. Alright, so the oven is preheating and I have grabbed a plateau thingy, this thing, and we will put the quiche on here. So we're going to stir a little bit more, and when the oven is ready we will pour this on here. Alright, so the oven is ready. So now I will pour the mixture inside of the dough. So let's pour everything in and let's make it nice and smooth. So now it can go into the oven on 200 degrees for 30 to 35 minutes. Alright, so let's open this. Very careful. Alright, it's inside. So let's put it for 200 and let's start with 31 minutes. Alright, only 10 minutes left and it looks amazing already. Alright, it is done. Alright, so now I have a wooden stick and we are going to check if it's good. And it's all clean. Okay, so I have my mittens and a towel because it's very, very hot. So be careful. Alright, so here it is. Going to put the quiche on here for now. This is also very hot, so be careful. Look how nice. Looks amazing. Wow. Alright, so now we have to take the quiche out of the tin. I have my mitten and I have this one. So let's put it on. So now we have the bottom part and we can just lift it out. So be careful because this is very hot. And now we have our quiche. Alright, so the quiche is all done and ready and it looks amazing and it's very nice and crispy on the sides. So now I'm going to slice it. So I'm just going to slice it like a pizza. So here is a piece of quiche. So yes, the inside looks amazing. I will show you. Alright, so here is the sliced quiche. So this is how it looks like on the inside. Very nice. And here is the little sliced piece. And yes, it turned out amazing. Alright, so now it's time for the taste test. So let's begin with the tip. Very, very nice. And now the crispy edges. Very nice. And another edge. Very nice. Alright, so this was my video on how to make a delicious quiche. And I think it turned out amazing. So I usually eat like half of a quiche because it's very filling. And yes, I'm super happy with my results, and I hope you maybe make one yourself and try it out. I hope you like this video, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye!